Hey everyone, welcome to the Neo Marketing Podcast. As you can see, we have a different setup today. We're in Washington, D.C. meeting with a client, and we're going to talk all about adaptability on the show.
Welcome to the Golden Group Neo Marketing Podcast, a bi-weekly discussion of modern business communication.
Good morning, Pritch. How are you today?
I'm great, thanks, Kyle. How about yourself?
Fantastic. We're here at the Wink Hotel in Washington, D.C., on the road edition of the Neo Marketing Podcast. For those of you who can't see us, we're in a hotel room or back in the corner on a desk, adapting our show program and production to the situation we're in, because we're on the road on the day that we normally would be doing the podcast.
And every time you say that, I think Bing Crosby and Bob Hope in the On the Road series.
There you go. Well, we're good buddies on the road. It's a for sure thing.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the topic of adaptability. This is a great example of doing a podcast in a hotel room or doing things when you have to travel. Obviously, in our travel day yesterday, there was a lot of using smartphones and tablets and getting on Wi-Fi and making adjustments in between flights and all those great things, which is definitely adaptable as well. But business is adaptable. In fact, if you're not adaptable in business, you're dead.
Yes.
And even more so in 2019 than ever before.
Right.
The good news is there are also more tools and more flexibility, and people understand the adaptability of business in 2019, right?
One would hope.
Well, or they're dead.
Or they're dead.
Literally, your business is not going to survive if you can't be adaptable, if you can't do things on the fly and make changes, not dramatic like we're changing our whole process for 2 days while we're traveling, but even just in your normal process, the normal way you make something, you sell something, how you deal with your employees, your communication, internal, external, all of it, you have to at some point realize there are things that aren't working as well as you would hope, and that you need to adapt, you need to change, you need to edit, you need to fix it, and you need to move on. The things that were awesome in 1975 are not awesome today, right?
And we talked about that a little bit last night. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So this is the point I want people listening to the podcast and watching the video series to understand is it's not that it's interesting we're shooting a podcast in a hotel room. That's kind of cool. But more interesting is that we have a business opportunity in Washington, D.C., coming from Oklahoma City or from Philadelphia, actually even having the Philadelphia office. All these things happen in 2018, 2019 that wouldn't happen in 1975 or 2000 even because of technology, because of communication, even producing a show like this. They used to have a TV studio and have all these lights and cameras and equipment. And here we are with one camera, two microphones, two lamps, not even, professional lighting, just lamps. And we're making a thing happen because we're dedicated to producing the content. Yeah.
And this is podcast equipment light.
Right, exactly. Very light. This is the most streamlined we've ever done it, right? But that's awesome that we didn't miss an opportunity. And we have potential for other opportunities because we have the flexibility, because we're adaptable, and because we're willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. And that's the attitude. If you have that attitude, you can be successful. There are tools for any job, any career, any business that you're running. There are tools out there to help you adapt to the thing that's not working as well as you would like it to. Whether it's accounting, whether it's sales, whether it's marketing, whether it's production, human resources, etc. There's information, there's technology, there's something in the world that can help you if you have the right mindset about being adaptable and going out and finding those tools.
Right, exactly. And I think you have to be open to that. Change is tough. Nobody likes change, but we're not talking about completely reinventing, in this case, our model. We're just adapting.
The other thing, too, that I kind of want people to get out of this experiment, if you will, is that so many people get so stuck, especially startups or people have ideas for businesses and they never launch, or a startup that doesn't happen properly, or someone doesn't make a big pivot or change in their business because they get stuck on it's not perfect. And you can't wait for perfect, right?
You can't wait for perfect.
What's the saying? Perfect is the enemy of good enough or done.
Right.
Good enough or done or completed or launched. And when it comes to a startup, right? So this is not the perfect podcast scenario. This isn't the best video we've ever made. This isn't necessarily the best podcast we've ever produced as far as production goes. But I think this is good content, and it's a good thing for people to hear, and I'm interested to see what feedback we'll get online on social media. Please, folks, give us feedback. Yeah. We love the feedback, so please let us know what you like, dislike, want to see more of, etc. on the show. But the content and doing what we do and having dedication to our audience and all that other stuff is more important than it being perfect.
Right.
It's not the perfect production, but we're still trying to convey information, to provide content, to provide value for the people that subscribe to the podcast. And so that's more important than anything else.
Yeah. And this is a great example of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Absolutely.
So there you go, folks. It's a quick one this week because we're on the road. We're being adaptable. We got to do what we're going to do. But we're going to come to you next episode, also here from Washington, D.C. And until then, good luck, and we'll see you next time.
Ciao.